let's go ahead and talk about the porch talk that we set up for today. And I want to go ahead and start it out like this. People want to do things in life and they get started doing them and they fail. They're not successful. They don't get accomplished what it is they'd like to accomplish. And anyway, I want to give you some tips, 4 tips actually, that will help you accomplish successfully any project you want to do in life. But if you don't have a methodology and a clear understanding of what you're going to do, you're most likely setting yourself up for failure. So let's go through the 4 things that you need to consider if you're going to start a project. Now, you guys will have to excuse me. I'm in a rocking chair here, and an old man like I am, it's hard for me not to want to rock while I'm in there. So I forget sometimes I'm doing a video. But anyway, we'll see how we do today. So let's go ahead and talk about those 4 things we need to consider. We need to first have a vision of what it is we want to do. Then we need to educate ourselves on how to do what we want to do. And then we need to take action in getting that done. And then we need to make sure that we have the consistency and the persistency that we need to accomplish our goals that we've set out to do. And I'm going to use an illustration of a project that I did about, probably 4, maybe 5 years ago. But it's an interesting project, and I'll try to attach some photos of that project as we talk and go through this and how we did this. And we were successful, very successful in it. It wasn't a big project, but we were successful. Now, I do old car restoration. And so when you look at something like an old car or even this clawfoot bathtub that I'm going to tell you about, you have to get it in your mind, the vision, what it is that you want that to be when it's said and done. Get a picture of that in your mind. You know, there's no biblical scripture that says people that don't have a vision perish. Another way you could probably put that is people that don't have a vision will probably not accomplish what it is they're going to do. And that's pretty much a guarantee on that. So a vision is important. And number 2, the educating yourself. But before I go too far on the education part of it, let's back up to the vision part of it. Now, my wife and I, we built a tiny home, or actually bought one, and then started putting the interior in it and things like that. But we wanted an old clawfoot bathtub in the bathroom, and we couldn't put a real big bathtub in it because it's a tiny home. But we had it in our mind what we wanted, and we happened to just really get very fortunate. A friend of ours had pulled a small clawfoot bathtub out of a house he was redoing. Anyway, he gave that to us, and that was really nice to get that thing. It's probably a foot shorter than a normal clawfoot, but that worked out perfect for the small house that we were wanting to put it in. But we knew what color we wanted it. We knew what the legs needed to look like. We knew what the porcelain needed to look like. So we had a vision of what we wanted. My wife and I talked back and forth and created this vision between us. Then I had never done the porcelain on the inside of one of those bathtubs. Now, painting and other things I had done, but I'd never stripped a bathtub like that. So I went and got some education, went online, went and bought the stuff to do it with, read the instruction, got all the education I could get my hands on before I started. And then here comes the action part. The action part is the 2 days that it took to do this thing. That's not a very big bathtub, but I did spend 2 days on it, maybe 3. I don't remember. It's been a few years back. But anyway, I went to work on it. And I got to tell you, that old bathtub on the outside may have had 5 or 10 coats of different kinds of paint on it. And I knew that painting over that wasn't a good idea, especially if I wanted some longevity in the paint that I was going to put back on it. And as well as the appearance, I wanted the appearance to be really good on this thing. And so it took a lot of persistence and consistency of working and working to strip that thing. And of course, I took aircraft stripper and stripped it down and got all that done. And as I was doing all that, there was times, I got to be honest with you, I was thinking, man, you bit off an awful lot here. That's where the consistency and the persistence comes in. I said, well, I've started, I know what we want, and this is what we want. So whatever it takes, I'm going to make this happen. So you got to get the mindset that says, I'm going to make this happen. If you don't have that kind of a mindset in life, you're in trouble before you ever get started, okay? And I've met a lot of people that don't have it, but I've met a lot of people that do, and they normally get, well, not normally, they always get what they want out of life because they just go after it until they get it. Well, having the vision of this thing, and we started stripping it down, dealt with the frustrations of that. Of course, as I said, got the education we wanted to get it done. We knew what we were up against before we started. And then the action was the 2 or 3 days it took to do it. And the consistency was just, instead of quitting, getting frustrated, we stayed with it. That's the story. It's the way it works in life. If you want success, you have to be willing to do these 4 things. Now, if you're going to start something in life and you're not willing to do these 4 things, I would pretty much give you about a 10% chance of maybe getting it done, maybe even less than that. But if you consider these things, make up your mind, you're going to do them, the persistence and consistency part of it, I will say that you got about a 100% chance of getting it done. So which one do you want? Do you want a 10% chance of maybe getting what you want out of life, or do you just want a 100% chance? Well, I'm going to say most of you are going to answer that. I want to be successful. I want to be 100%. I want to get what we want in life. So as we go through here, we're looking at the different stages of doing this bathtub. And stage 1 was stripping it down, and I'm going to show you a photo of that. Stage 2 was sandblasting the legs and putting several coats of gold paint on that because I wanted those things to really look outstanding. Stage 3 was painting the outside of it the royal blue that we wanted it to be. And of course, stage 4 was putting the new porcelain in it. And then, of course, we installed it in the bathroom. We bought the old style faucets and stuff like that and got it installed. And we're still using that bathtub today. I had probably 3 days work in it, but we've been using it for 4 or 5 years, and we really enjoy it. Nothing more fun or relaxing, I guess might say, than running that thing full of hot water and just soaking in that thing in the afternoon after you've worked hard all day. It's very rewarding, and we love our clawfoot bathtub. Okay, guys, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this video. Just kind of wanted to give you an idea on how to approach something, the mindset you're going to need to be successful. And so that's pretty much the story that I just told you and shared with you. So we here at the Porch love you. We want the best for you. That's the reason we share this information. If you've gotten anything out of this, we'd love it if you'd hit the subscribe button, the like button, and if you want to leave a comment, it moves us up in the algorithm, and we need that. We're been on YouTube for about a year, and I don't know whether we've done good or not. We don't have a lot of viewers. We'd sure like to have more, so we're working hard to try to produce better videos. Anyway, having said that, God bless. You guys have a good day.